Hello! Look what I have! Do you know what it is? It's avocado seed. Yes, what do you usually do with this seed? Do you trash it? Do you use it for something else? Well, let's try to use it for something else. Some time ago, I found out that it's possible to use them, like to grind them and to use them for some kind of spices for your dishes or for something else. Of course, I investigated a little bit. Is it healthy? Is it maybe it's even poisonous? Is it possible to eat it and so on and so on? And scientific research shows that it might not have a benefit and it might be a little bit harmful for your health. So at the moment, scientifically, it's not proven that if you grind the seed, it will be healthy or it won't be poisonous for you. So if you do this with a caution and don't use it in big amounts. Use it in small amounts in your dishes so that you won't be poisoned or you won't get bad. So if you have a seed and if you take the seed, as you can see, it has quite light color. And this is because there is the outer skin on top of the seed, which takes really easy once you leave it to dry out. But if you leave it to dry out like this, it won't dry out till the end. Because I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's still a little bit fluffy. I can still press it and I can feel that it's not hardened like a rock or anything like that. And while it's like that, it should be possible to see I'm pressing it and it presses. While it is like that, you won't be able to grind it because, well, it's too soft. So first thing that you have to do, you have to cut it in the pieces. So it's really easy to prepare the avocado seed. As you can see, it's a little bit fluffy. You can press it, it's not hard. And to make it hard, well, if you leave it like this, nothing will happen. You have to cut it into smaller pieces, and while it's not dried out, it's really easy to cut it, and as you can see, it has a structure like this. So what I usually do, I usually cut it in smaller pieces like this, and then it dries very nicely. For example, here it's already started to dry a little bit. Now there are two options: or bake it in the oven for around 20 minutes, not too high temperature, or leave it to dry out if you're living in a place where it's winter, dry climate, or if you have some drying machine and so on. So in my case, I'm living in a place where we have a central heating system and the weather is very dry, and we have radiators, which you can see. Here will be a link. You can see another video how I dried my flaxseed crackers. So yeah, I'm using the same method here to dry out my avocado seeds and grind them up. Now I'm not sure why, but for some reason some seeds got dried out even without cutting them into small pieces. This one, for example, as you can see, it's half and it's thick. You can see from the sound that it's really thick, like a rock. This one, for example, also got dried out without cutting or anything like that. That's a little bit strange, and I am not totally sure why did this happened, because this one, for example, stayed for more or less the same time, but nothing happened with this one. Of course, this one is smaller and the bottom and the top were cut, so maybe the air went through and that's why it got dried out. Because even this one looks like the air should go through, but I think there's still an outer skin that's preventing for the dry air to go through and for the seed to dry out. If you take some part that's already dried out, we can see that it was cutted and then it got dry out very quickly. You should hear it from the sound that, yeah, it's dried out very nicely. Now let me show you how I'm drying this. Okay, so let me show you how I'm drying it also, how I dried my seeds. So it's very simple. We have a radiator which is warm at the moment. So the heat is coming up and I have some kind of structure in here and I have the seeds in here. So the seeds stayed like this for a day or two and they are dried like, well, quite well. The pieces are thick and solid like a stone, so we can easily grind them up or blend them up in this case. Also, I have some dried bananas in here, which is drying also very nicely. So just to show you that this method kinda works for me and everything dries really nicely. For the smashing the seeds into the powder, I'm gonna use my blender. The one that you probably see before that I'm using. Oh, actually, we have an issue. There is some water from the morning, so I have to make sure there is no water, because otherwise the powder will stuck and we don't want that. So let's just clean it very quickly. So whatever you're using, make sure it's dry, because the pieces of the seeds are gonna become a powder. So we don't want that it would stick somewhere near the dish or device you are using. So, like I said, I'm gonna use this blender, cheap one. Let's be honest and let's call it what it really is. So, as you probably remember from my previous videos, I had some adventures with this blender. You can find the video in here, like it broke very easily and very quickly, but still, now it's working fine and we can use it. So I'm gonna try to use this blender to blend the seeds and we'll see what will happen. It blends the flax seeds, so I guess it should not be an issue to blend these pieces of avocado seed as well. Let's bring the dried parts of the seeds. Here we go. We can see that everything is dried out very nicely and we can transfer it to the blender. It's not much, but I hope the blender will be able to blend them. It was something like 5 or 6 avocado seeds. Let's close it and let's try to blend it. That was not a good idea to put the camera in here, because, yeah, this is not a smoothie. It's not broken yet, but still. So let's close it like this. This time we are not going to place the hammer on top. We are not gonna break it, and let's see how it blends, or how it not blends. The smell is quite nice. I can see there are some big particles inside. And I'm really glad that this is a glass jar, not the plastic one, because these big parts would screw the plastic, that's for sure. So if you have the blender with the plastic jar, think twice before blending dried avocado seeds in it. Looks better now, I think. So we can clean it a little bit. Yes, the particles are small. Probably I should dry them a little bit more. Let's try to taste it out. To tell the truth, I don't feel any taste. Let's try again. I think I'll try to make some dishes with this one, and then maybe I can tell you how it changes the taste, because now it's hard to tell. The smell is quite nice. It's a little bit sweet. Actually, now I feel a little bit of taste, maybe a little bit bitter taste. Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. It's not sweet or anything like that, so that's for sure. So I guess I'll try to use it a little bit, and later on I will let you know what happens to the dishes if I use this powder. So this is how much powder we got. You can take a look. It's like half of a cup. I will say goodbye for now, and later on, if I do something more, maybe I will record something more. More, something more, more. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting. I hope this was useful. Please like the video if you like it. Please dislike if you don't. Please leave a comment what you like, what you not, and let me know if you tried to make the avocado seeds, to blend the avocado seeds like this. If you tried to use it, for what dishes did you use it? How was the taste for you? Was it good? Was it bad? Do you approve this one or not? Because like I said, scientifically it's not proven that it has many health benefits and that it does not have any bad things for human health. So take this with some risk. Don't use too much of this powder or these avocado seeds, and see you next time. Looks like it's working this time, which is very good. And I really like that this new GoPro has a screen, so I can record it and see what I'm recording, which is also very nice.